What if the ultimate goal isn't to have a calm mind, but a dangerous one? I know how that sounds. It's the opposite of everything we're told. To seek peace, find our zen, be tranquil. But a calm mind is passive. It accepts the world as it is. A dangerous mind. A dangerous mind shapes the world. It's a mind sharpened to a razor's edge, capable of immense focus and an unbreakable will. It is a weapon, and two of the most dangerous minds in history belong to two men you would never, ever expect to see in the same sentence. A 17th century Japanese samurai who killed over 60 men, and a 19th century German philosopher who died in a mental asylum. First, the samurai, Miyamoto Musashi. The name itself sounds like a blade being drawn from its sheath. He was a kensei, a sword saint, a legend in a country of legends. He fought his first duel at 13 and won. He would go on to fight in over 60 duels and never lost a single one, not once. But don't mistake him for a simple brute with a sword. He was much more. He was a master strategist, a refined artist, and a philosopher. Late in his life, while living as a hermit in a cave, he wrote down his life's philosophy in two short books, Decode, The Path of Aloneness, and his masterpiece, The Book of Five Rings. And this book wasn't just about sword fighting. Musashi claimed that the principles of combat were the same principles for mastering any aspect of life. For him, the way of the warrior was the way of total self-mastery. Now let's travel 200 years forward and thousands of miles west, to Germany. Here we find Friedrich Nietzsche, the man with the most famous mustache in philosophy, the man who declared that God is dead. He's often misunderstood as a bleak nihilist, but that's completely wrong. Nietzsche wasn't a philosopher of despair. He was a philosopher of power. He saw humanity as sick, weak, and sedated by comfort, and he offered the cure. His central idea was the will to power, the fundamental driving force in all living things, not just to survive, but to grow, to expand, to overcome obstacles, and to express their innate strength, to dominate their own weaknesses. For Nietzsche, life itself was a battlefield, not of swords and spears, but of ideas and values. And to win, you needed to become a new kind of human, a warrior of the mind. So we have a duelist who wrote philosophy, and a philosopher who famously wrote with a hammer, an Eastern swordsman obsessed with practical, immediate action, a Western thinker obsessed with earth-shattering ideas. On the surface, they are polar opposites. But then you look closer, you read their words, you examine their lives, and you realize they were climbing the exact same brutal mountain, just from different sides. Both were radical outsiders who rejected the rules of their society, and both arrived at the same core set of principles for a life of strength, purpose, and mastery. This is the warrior's ethos. Let's break it down. The first principle: embrace chaos and hardship. Don't run from pain, run towards it. Musashi lived this. He was a ronin, a masterless samurai. He had no home, no security. His life was a constant trial by fire. He actively sought out the most dangerous opponents. He traveled the country on foot, sleeping rough, always training, always pushing his limits. He believed that constant, life-or-death struggle was the only way to truly sharpen the spirit. Nietzsche gave this a name, amor fati, the love of one's fate. It's the decision to not just tolerate your life, but to love every second of it. The pain, the struggle, the joy, all of it. He famously wrote, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." For Nietzsche, suffering wasn't a bug in the system of life. It was the main feature, the primary tool for all meaningful growth. For both of them, comfort was a prison that led to weakness and mediocrity. They understood a fundamental truth. The obstacle isn't blocking the path. The obstacle is the path. Principle 2. The real battle is internal. You must become the absolute master of your own mind. Musashi was obsessed with achieving a state of mind he called mushin, or no mind. This doesn't mean an empty mind. It means a mind free from clutter, free from fear, from doubt, from the hesitation that gets you killed. It's a state of pure, fluid awareness where body and mind become one. It's the ultimate flow state, where the body acts instantly and perfectly without conscious thought. Musashi wrote that to achieve this, your mind must be trained even more rigorously than your body. It must become a weapon. Nietzsche's version of this was his concept of the Übermensch, or the Overman. This isn't some superhero. The Overman is the person who has overcome the ultimate opponent, himself. He has conquered his own petty emotions, his herd instincts, his desperate desire for comfort. He no longer follows the values of society. He forges his own. He is the master of his own soul. For both men, self-mastery was the only victory that mattered. This leads to the third principle, the absolute primacy of action. Talk is cheap. Theory is a ghost. Only action is real. The Book of Five Rings is not an academic text. It's a field manual for winning. Musashi's advice is brutally direct. One of his core principles is simply, do nothing which is of no use. It's a call for ruthless efficiency in both thought and action. If it doesn't help you win the fight, eliminate it. In his most legendary duel against Sasaki Kajira, Musashi showed up late and armed not with his fine swords, but with a crude wooden oar he had carved on the boat ride over. He used what was practical, not what was traditional, and he won. Nietzsche's will to power is the same idea in a different form. It is not just a thought, it is a drive, an impulse. A command to act, to create, to change, to impose your will on the world and on yourself. He said philosophy should be a hammer, something you use to test the foundations of old ideas, to smash the idols of your time, and to build something new and stronger in their place. Truth wasn't something you found, it was something you created. The fourth and final principle of the warrior's path. You must forge your own way. Following the crowd is the path to spiritual death. Musashi completely rejected the established sword-fighting schools of his day. He saw their rigid forms and traditions as a cage. So he created his own revolutionary style, Niiten Ikiryu, the school of two heavens as one, fighting with a sword in each hand. It was unorthodox, it was strange, and it was unbeatable. Nietzsche's entire life's work was one giant scream for individualism. He despised what he called herd morality, the pre-packaged, second-hand values that most people blindly accept from religion, culture, and society. He urged you to become who you are, to stop following the well-worn path up the mountain and to blaze your own. This path, the warrior's path, is a lonely one. It requires immense courage, but it's the only path that leads to a true, authentic life. So what does all of this mean for you right now? You're not a samurai. You're not a 19th century philosopher. How do you apply the warrior's ethos in a world of notifications, deadlines, and endless distractions? Your duel isn't against a man holding a katana. Your duel is with procrastination. It's with the fear of looking foolish. It's with the endless scroll of distraction. Your opponent is that quiet voice inside you that begs to take the easy way out. Embrace hardship like Musashi. That difficult project at work, that grueling workout, that uncomfortable conversation. That is your training ground. Practice amor fati. Learn to love the struggle because that is where your strength is forged. Master your mind. Cultivate motion in your own life. When you work, work with total focus. Turn off the distractions. Train your attention like a muscle until you can enter a flow state at will. This is your internal victory. Take decisive action. Wield your will to power. Stop endlessly planning and start doing. Write that first page, start that business. Learn the skill. Don't just think about it, be about it. Impose your will on your circumstances. Be the creator of your life, not a creature of it. And finally, forge your own path. Question the defaults. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean it's the right way for you. Design your own life based on your own values, not the herd's. This is the ultimate freedom. The warrior's path, as laid out by the samurai and the philosopher, is not about violence. It's about vitality. It's about power. It's a mindset of relentless self-overcoming. It's a blueprint for turning yourself into a force of nature. It's about forging a mind that doesn't just process information. It conquers challenges. A mind that is focused, disciplined, and fiercely resilient. A mind that is calm, yes, but also dangerously effective. Because in the battle of life, a calm mind is useful, but a dangerous mind is victorious.